go. Yeah.
Hey, howdy, and hello, Internet. How is everybody doing out there? Welcome to Let's Grow Pulling, the official podcast of the Beer Money Pulling Team and the Beer Money Pulling Team social media outlets. No Jason Schultz tonight. You're here with Mike Idle, Mackenzie Teeting. When the cat is away, the mice shall play. I was thinking about this. He told us the opening of the show, the first 10 minutes of the show, are supposed to be a recap of what happened last week. But I thought maybe we could take the first 10 minutes and just discuss let's have some fun at the boss man's expense. What was the most embarrassing thing you saw Jason Schultz do this weekend? Did Jason Schultz do anything silly over the past 7 days or so? He is announcing in Minden, Illinois right now. So he can't even watch to correct us while we're on here.
Oh, you never know. He might be multitasking, so.
He's actually pretty good at that. Yep.
Yeah. But I haven't seen him this week, so I can't really.
You were with squad. He was B squad with me all weekend long. So yeah, we got to hang out.
You have some stories.
He tried to roll his ankle right in front of the porta potty. It almost got ugly in a hurry. It looked like it hurt, but he rallied and bounced back, being the tough individual that he is. But the location added to the comedic effect of that. But no, let's talk about, he's not even finished with last week yet. We're still on our last week road trip. Kenzie, you and I had pretty big road trips last week. We did, between the two of us, 7 pulls in 4 days, all of them with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. If you look at what was going on with NTPA ran 5 shows. They ran 5 sessions. They ran 5 sessions in 2 days at 2 locations. And then other national level stories. I know this is a big week for PPL as well. They always have Goshen, and then they go down to Evansville.
It's supposed to be in Freeport, but Mother Nature got the best of them.
I've been watching Larry Richwine's Facebook page. The Outlaws have had 1 rainout all year. We were talking about this. We have had Ravenna. We have had Ravenna. Opening night, Ravenna. Pop-up tornado. That's our only rain. I feel like I see, and this just had nothing to do with the associations, but I feel like every week I see a PPL show get rained out. So they have had more bad luck than the Outlaws have. But where were we? What did we see? I was in Mercer, Missouri on Wednesday night. Sac City, Iowa on Thursday. Sac City, Iowa you were with me in Sac City, Iowa. Yeah, we crossed paths in Sac City. Sac City is a very special place to me at the Sac County Fair. 1 year ago this week, I made my announcing debut in Sac City. First place I ever called a pull, so a lot of fun to go back there. Friday night was the big epic 2-track show in Wayne County in Wayne, Nebraska. Then we split up the band again. I headed to Lamar's, Iowa. You went to Platte City, Missouri, home of the Platte City Smoke Show, or the Platte County Smoke Show. And I got to indulge in the world famous, and that's not an oversell, pork chop in a glove. Kenzie, have you ever been to Lamar's, Iowa? Do you have any souvenir gloves? I should have brought it up here. I'll bring it on Outlaw Live tomorrow night. Have you seen it before? Do you know what I'm talking about? I've
seen pictures of it. I drove through Lamar's all the time, but I have other polls to go to that day.
It is worth all the hype. They literally give you a barbecue pit style glove. They just give you a pork chop, and you just, sans fork and knife. You just go full Viking on this thing.
It's caveman.
And it's worth every bit. I want to give all pulling its fair due while we recap this previous week, but that's going to be a little challenging because I was exclusive to Outlaws this past week. So I'll talk about some stuff that I saw them do, and then I'm going to hit some results that I saw because big week going on out there at Fort Recovery in Brandenburg, Kentucky. The numbers, if you got on the Full Pull app or if you got on NTPA's website and you reviewed the results at Brandenburg, mega show, huge numbers out there. That's always kind of been a two-wheel drive hotspot. I think they had something like 31 or 35 two-wheel drive trucks.
Wow.
Pulling in Brandenburg, Kentucky. Another 15 or 20 light supers. That's a big light super show out there. 15 or 20 pro stocks, single track. That was a big show in Brandenburg. And then Fort Recovery, the longest running NTPA sanctioned pull, ran 3 sessions. It's turning into a mini rod haven out there. They had like 31, 35 tons of mini rods out there. Big winners from those shows. I saw Ken Vaney picked up a win Friday night, I think, in Fort Recovery. In the Unlimiteds. Fort Recovery, of course, is a big modified place. I think Adam Bauer got a win on Saturday night. I think Joe Ader got a win on Friday night. The more things change, the more they stay the same with those guys, some of the usual suspects, I think Brandon Phillips threw off the hometown curse. It was either Brandon or Larry, not sure which one. But on Friday night, one of the Phillipses was able to win at their home track right there in Brandenburg. So that's always a big deal. And then I think Brandenburg got rained out Saturday night. So that was our NTPA rundown. Outlaws. Who is having the biggest past 2 weeks in Outlaws right now? If I said, give me one name that is like Mr. Outlaw story, who is smiling?
I got 2 names. Okay,
let me hear them.
I got Neves and Schluters.
Well, yeah, okay. So we'll get a Mr. Resilient and then a Mr. On Fire. Yeah, Cameron Neves. Yeah. Cameron Neves with a cotton candy tractor, and that's a fun one to talk about on a Let's Grow Pulling show where we talk about all things pulling. Because Cameron Neves has always been an outlaw who's been very willing to make the adjustments and go pulling at the farm show and go pulling at the Mack Trailer Winter Nationals and go pulling at the Pullers Championship. So I feel like he's a good advocate for pulling, and his day in the sun has been long deserved. Put on a new set of tires at Bloomfield. He has not taken, and I have to explain this in a second, he has not taken anything less than first place points at a pull since putting those on. He has either won or split first place points at every single pull since he put those on 2 weeks ago. And the reason we have to say that caveat, he technically had the second furthest distance at Sac City, but they set a full pull mark,
right?
And opted not to have the pull off, as I understood it. So both drivers said, "We're not bringing them back; they're too hot." So he got the second furthest distance, but they did split the points as they both pulled past 362 or whatever the full pull mark was that night. Yeah, and Corey Schluter. Corey went from on top of the world to a grenaded transmission. Truly, at Pierce, Nebraska, Lee, Nebraska. One tire was spinning forward while one was spinning backwards. Like as the telehandler pulled him off the track, like for real, they were gave a whole new meaning to cross tracking. Yeah. He rebuilt that within 6 days. And one Thursday night, one Friday night. I think all he did after he rebuilt the transmission was win. So yeah, he's a man having a fun season right now. He's on top of points. Cameron's on top of points. Life is good for them in the Outlaws.
That is true.
What was your favorite pass in our 4 straight days of pulling?
Ooh.
What was your single favorite run down the track? And this is kind of an outlaw show right now, guys, but that's where we were, so this is not to take, or did you go over to Full Pull and do any live streaming while you were running our production?
I'd say Colin Weens' Fast and Wayne. That was pretty good.
Which one? I'm trying to remember that one. Oh, on
Like Super.
I don't remember it at all. I can't picture it.
I mean, I can't remember a lot of them, even though I look at all of them throughout the whole show.
I was gonna say, who does the fill-in driving for Dustin Corliss in the T bucket?
That was Mark Jansen.
Jensen had a good pass. I like the semis. I like the international semi in Wayne. That was a big run out there.
Mm-hmm.
But long story short, recap the weekend. It looked like this. Tons and tons and tons of pulls, tons and tons of iron. Some people called it Hell Week because, and I completely understand that moniker, because you are testing your equipment and your body to the absolute max. I had a little fun with that, and I called it Heaven Week because if you're a fan, I mean, there's a show anywhere and everywhere. You could set up 3 different TVs and have 3 different live streams going at once. But yeah, I've always said the final week in July, the Brandenburg week, the Goshen County Fair, the Elkhart County Fair, and then that 4-day sweep with the Outlaws, that is the biggest weekend pulling. And we're right back at it next week. We got 4 shows in 4 days next week too, so no rest for the wicked.
Nope.
And the NTPA has what I would say is their biggest up-and-coming pull. You know, everyone's always heard of Toma. Everyone's always heard of Chapel Hill. Everybody's always heard of Bowling Green. Folks, there's a 4th one out there, and it is knocking on the door hard and in a hurry, and for good reason. I would say this is going to be the new cornerstone show of the NTPA. Of course, talking about Rockwell, Iowa, coming up this week. 5-session show, I think. It's a 5-session show.
Yep.
And I think we got some folks right here. I can't see them. This is weird for me because I'm not on the production side tonight. But I think we got some folks in the back room who are going to tell us all about the hottest new, soon to maybe one day be super national pull, the North Iowa Nationals. We've got Tim and Grant Nearing, I hope I'm saying that right, in the green room. Kenzie, let's go ahead and bring them on and see what they have to say.
I'm going to play their promo video first, then I'll
I love it.
Rockwell, Iowa is the place to be August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for the North Iowa Nationals Truck and Tractor Pull. Weekend or session tickets available. Live stream available at fullpull.live. 5 sessions, 2 tracks, endless action and excitement. August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Rockwell, Iowa.
Voila.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you folks doing this evening?
Good. How about you?
We are excellent. Thank you for being on Let's Grow Pulling with us. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let everyone know which of you is Tim and which of you is Grant. Tell us what your relationship is to each other and tell them what your role is with this upcoming pull.
Yeah, so I'm Tim Nearing. I'm the chairman of a great group of people putting this event on. And today we brought Grant Nearing. He's one of our newer members of our pull committee. And I thought it'd be a good experience for him to come along with us and get some of his insights of this pull.
And are you guys related, or is the last name one of those coincidental things here? Is this a father-son or uncle-nephew team? What are we looking at here?
Well, to be quite honest with you, we've been told that we look like father-son, but he is a cousin, actually. So.
Cousin.
Okay. Pair of cousins on here representing Rockwell, Iowa, the North Iowa Nationals. Gentlemen, this is one of the big ones. How did this pull so quickly grow to such a large size, and where would you like to take this pull in the future?
Well, I tell you, everybody knows you can't do this alone. We've got 50 members that work our tails off. There's 12 on our committee that all year we're meeting. We start off meeting once monthly, and then at 6 months we're meeting once a month, and then when we get to like 3 months out, we're meeting weekly. And you know, we don't leave any stones unturned. Anybody that's been to our poll every year, and there's several that have, every year we're trying to improve and we do something different.
When was your first show, and did it start off as an NTPA Grand National, or did you kind of maybe start as a regional pull and work your way up?
No, I was a regional pull when we had started single track back in 2009, I believe was the first year. And then I think in probably 2011 or 12, we won regional pull of the year. We won that like 6 years in a row. And I guess that's when we really started thinking we had something special. We had an amazing group of people that really wanted to be the best there is out there. And I guess a lot of our goals are to be super national someday. And I think we're headed that direction.
It's been long rumored and discussed, and the fans want to see that happen. You know, there's only 2 other 5-session shows on the NTPA circuit, and they're both, you know, stamped with that super national recognition. Anyone who's been, it feels like a super national pull. I mean, you have 2 hooks for every single vehicle that's there, 5 sessions, a grandstand, and a facilities that are as modern. I would say it's one of the most modernized and clean setups that you're going to see. Tell us about the facilities. Can they camp? Can they get a 3-day pass? What are you offering for folks?
Yeah, so we do have on-site camping, $300 for the weekend, include 2 all-session passes, 3 nights, and I think we're right at 90 campers so far that are signed up. And the facilities are just amazing in my eyes. We started with a hay field 16 years ago. That's all there was there. And now every year we listen to pullers, we listen to fans, and we just try to make it as great an experience as there is for everybody. But like I said, it's been a lot of hard work, but wow, is it rewarding.
Kenzie, do you have a class list or a promotional flyer we can bring up? I'd love to talk about show times and get a rundown of some of the hot action that the fans are going to see there. Last I knew, there were 13 Grand National classes on the NTPA circuit. Will fans be able to see all 13 of them this weekend?
Yes, they will, plus regional 4-1 class.
Oh, okay. And they're coming fresh off some hooks. What region will that is that? I'm assuming that's not a region 2. Region 2 hook and recovery. So this is a region 3.
Yeah.
What does that encompass? Is that like Iowa and Minnesota?
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'm not sure if Wisconsin's in that or not, but
okay. So what
we got region 3.
Wisconsin's region 3 as well. So that's the upper Midwest. That's the northern side of things. What time is showtime on Thursday night?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Thursday. And then I'm assuming we'll do a noon show on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. And then will we go
on Friday night, noon on Saturday, 6 p.m. on Saturday night.
So those 6 p.m. starts make a nice difference as well. I was talking to someone, we did a 6 p.m. show last Saturday, and it just feels like you're starting 2 hours earlier instead of 1 hour earlier. The way that's beneficial to the fans is when you've got a big show and a lot of iron and you can get things moving, you can be getting in and out of it really, really efficiently. So here we have right here, August 1st through 3rd in Rockwell, Iowa, the North Iowa Nationals. Tim just went over our start times for each of the 5 sessions. There are 5 sessions of pulling in 3 days. Camping is available. You can buy a camping package that includes 2 5-session passes, correct?
Yes.
Boy, that's a deal that you can't beat right there. The pull date. Let's talk about this. At one point in time, there was a bit of a curveball to every pulling fan in Iowa. There were 2 very large pulls in Iowa existing roughly at the same weekend, one of them in Rockwell and one of them in Rock Valley. And I can tell you, as a fan coming up there in 2022, I had to double check my GPS several times to make sure I was headed to the right rock. I'd heard that there was quite a bit of mutual agreements and working together to shift those dates around to ensure that the whole state of Iowa was successful. How did we go about switching from that early July to this early August date?
Well, like you said, there was a lot of communication back and forth. And in the end, it made sense for us to go back to August, being most of our committee and our Lions Club farm. So July, there's still a lot of spraying going on and things like that. And probably 70% of our pull committee farmed or was in ag retail. And it just made more sense for us to move back. And, we had several conversations with Rock Valley over there, and man, they got a great group over there, and it's working against one another.
Right. No, I would say both of the shows actually present themselves with a very similar style and a very similar mission. Wonderful top tier pulling. One thing that I feel makes a show at that super national level, if we want to use that, is the pace of the pull. I went up there in 2022. I went to the Thursday night show. It was a 6:00 start. And I was back in my camper the next town away by 10:00 at night. I mean, the efficiency that you guys run this show with, is that a priority? Is that something that you have meetings about and you're talking about, getting the vehicles to the line quickly, getting them off quickly? How do you make it run like a well-oiled machine like that every year?
Well, of course, practice makes perfect, but we got a great track crew that just does an amazing job working their tails off. And, our goal is to have everybody on the road by 10:00, if not 9:30. This is a family show. We want the families to come, so a chance to drive home if they want to, but that's our goal, is to be done by 10:00 each night.
Yeah. And I can, a lot of times folks, you hear that promoters will say, this is what we're going to do. And you get sled resets and you got to prep the track. I've been there. Truthfully, honestly, I was back in the camper, the next town up by 10:00 at night. And that's not to say that I only saw 35 pieces of iron go down the track too. I watched probably 70, 80 hooks in that show. It's an efficient show. It's a good track. I've noticed the better the track, the less you have to do to it between hooks, the quicker your show can be. What are our gate prices each night? How do fans get in there and get a seat?
Yeah, so at the gate, it's $30 for a single session for 14 and older. 6 to 13 is $10, 5 and under free. If you want to get advanced tickets, save $5, you can go online, RockwellIA-Lions.com, and you can save a little bit of money by doing that. And if you get the all session pass, you just save $25. So pretty good deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're going to hit all 5, that's the way to do it. Do you do any sort of deal where you can get just a Friday, like noon and 6:00? I think Bowling Green kind of offers something like that.
Yeah, we haven't gone to that yet. We've talked about it. Maybe in the future we will, but currently we do not.
Okay, so it's just $30 per session unless you get all 5 shows, you get a wristband or whatever. What about fans who are coming in and they're going to be a little hungry, a little thirsty? Are we letting fans bring in coolers with alcohol, coolers without alcohol, no coolers? How do we make sure that we're getting refreshed and fed while we're taking in the awesome pull?
Yeah, so we do not allow anything in, no coolers.
Perfect.
Except for event coolers from the night before or whatever. Event coolers for the previous year can come in empty. As far as food and beverage, you're anything. I mean, we've got all nonprofit organizations doing our food. Like the Knights of Columbus got hamburgers and hot dogs, and you name it, they got it. And one of the popular things are the nachos by the football team. All you can eat, basically. It's a big old pan. Lions Club, of course, got their famous steak sandwiches and pork loin.
Would recommend those. Those are very
good. The steak sandwiches. When Kenzie starts talking in the middle of the show, it's something important. So you've hit on something big. So the Lions steak sandwiches.
No, but what's really unique about our show is it's 100% nonprofit organizations on grounds serving everybody.
And let's talk about, this is the Lions Club North Iowa Nationals. Is that correct? This is done in partnership. I always found this so intriguing. It really must speak volumes of what this organization is capable of doing and what they stand for. 2 of the 4 biggest pulls in NTPA are produced in partnership with the Lions Club. You know, of course, you have the Lions Super Pull of the South in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. 2 weeks later, you come up here to the Lions North Iowa Nationals. What's their role in the pull? What's it like working with them? And is that where all the money's going back to, is to support their missions?
Yes, 100% of the money goes back into our Lions Club. It's the Lions Club basically putting it on, but for promotional reasons and whatnot, we named ourselves North Iowa Nationals, patented to the logo, and but everything goes back to charity. We give back. I think we've given back. We started this event was. We pledged $250,000 to our new aquatic center in town, and we needed a fundraiser. And someone came, Lions Club, to say, "Hey, let's give it a shot," and it's been amazing.
Yeah. That's are you a member of the Lions Club yourself?
Yes, all of us are.
Excellent. So, yeah, really neat things going on. I think the Lions Club and pulling are a very natural fit. I know down in Tennessee, they help the high school and some other areas build up some of their facilities. You said you guys are working with the pool and some other things in town. Very, very impressive organization. Checking out some of the comments here. So Phil McIntyre says Saturday night is Veterans Night. Are we going to be recognizing the amazing veterans on Saturday?
Yeah, we sure are. We're going to bring them all out on the track. We've got a choir that.
No.
Yeah, I say we were good. We were able to piece together. Folks, bear with us.
Yep. Yeah, the choir that they bring is amazing. They do a great job.
Oh, there you're back. You froze up on us a little bit. So Saturday night is Veterans Night. We left off at choir. They're bringing a choir out there.
Yep.
Excellent. And what about the other sessions? Are we recognizing any other, is Thursday night fans night or Friday, ladies night or anything?
Yeah. So Saturday afternoon session will be family day, and kids 13 and under get in free.
Wonderful. That's a good idea. Dylan Dirks wants to know, is there any overall weekend winner awards? That's a good question.
No, not at this time.
Okay, so no traveling trophy. We're just hooking for NTPA points, and everyone gets to hook twice. So just an attractive place for them to hook there. I want to hear from both of you. What's your motivation behind putting on a pull and just being in the world of pulling? So Grant, you're being a little bashful on the side, but I'm going to bring you on here. Let's go to Grant first. Grant, what's it mean to you to be involved in pulling, and what keeps you motivated to put on a pull like this?
Yeah, so my motivation every single year that we have this pull, to be able to give back to the community and to see all the families come out and just enjoy the pull. That fun.
Right. No, I can come crowd entertainment and crowd engagement, just to know that you're bringing joy to people and know that it goes back. No, I thrive on that. As an announcer, when that crowd is, you can see they're having fun. That almost does it for you right there. Tim, what was your reason for getting into this? What keeps you going every year as you bite off more and more with this thing? Oh, you froze up on us a little bit. Oh my God, we literally just said there's no way he'll be tuning in. We can say whatever we want about him. We can say whatever.
Multitasks.
We just got done with our embarrassing Jason Schultz stories, and then here he pops on. You're getting a live look in. You're getting a live look in from Minden, Illinois. We'll pick Minden, Illinois. Sounds good, man. Kenzie, did Tim and Grant completely freeze up on us?
No, I see Tim's moving.
Okay. Sorry about that. Boss man is setting up a spot. Tim, what's your driving force in truck and tractor pulling?
I'll tell you, the list could go on, but what's really neat for me is I think we're the youngest club in America. Our Lions Club maybe averages 30, 31 years old. There is no club in America that young. And I mean, like I said, it takes a lot of us. And the pulling world has really embraced Rockwell. And the younger guys just want to come out and our community is stronger and better. What drives and you know, I wanted to make our community better, and I wanted them to have all the amenities of what large city kids had. And to be honest with you, I'd put our little town of 900 people against anybody. Mm-hmm. So that's what drives me. Working with young people like Grant, my sons, and there's, I mean, heck, I think there's 5 nearings in the club. So, but it's just a tradition that keeps going on. The best that we can be. And man, we just love pulling. There's no doubt about it. So
I'm not going to lie. I'm not a terribly emotional person, but you're giving me chills. You know, I go back out on the road on Thursday to go pulling again, and you're making me want to go jump in the motorhome right now. When you're talking about community engagement and small town pride and doing it through pulling, boy, you're just checking all the right boxes there, man. I mean, we need more. Kenzie, we need more people like this in the world. That's just top to bottom. I love it. Guys, I think that. Oh, did we lose him?
No, people are switching stuff on me. Hang on.
Uh-oh. There we go. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show this evening. You can tell you're passionate about your community, passionate about truck and tractor pulling. What are your final remarks that you want people to know? And is there a list of anyone that you want to thank before we let you go this evening?
I tell you, we got so many sponsors. It's great. Yeah. Some of our larger sponsors, Macy All Risk Insurance, J&T, Truck and Trailer Repair, Window World, Steffes Auctioneers, Mars and Seed, Red Power Team, Curry, Sasa Abloy, BASF, Ziegler Cat, Hefty Seed Company, Angry Farmer, Stellar Truck and Trailer, they signed a 5-year deal with us. But the list could go on and on.
Yeah.
But you just cannot do the volunteers. Like, we're a town of 900 people. I think we got 875 working this event. So it's just amazing all the support we get. You know.
Oh, that's, you know, and it's, I didn't realize Rockwell was that small. I've sat in the bleachers. I've seen what's there. Your town's going to grow by about 600% this weekend, because you're going to have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people at the pulling track. So you're going to become maybe the second biggest town in the county for 3 days, you know, so, or at least significantly bigger than you are. And that's how you know you're doing something right. And that's how you know it's going back to the community. Guys, this was Tim and Grant Nearing at the North Iowa Nationals NTPA Grand National Pull. Grand National for now, well on its way to Super National. Everyone's been talking about that. August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Show times are at 6, noon, and 6. You can get a pass for all 5 sessions. You get a camping pass, or it's $30 at the gate. 13 Grand National classes plus some Region 3 classes. Grant and Tim, this was fun to talk to. Guys, thanks for being on here tonight, and best of luck with your pull. No doubt it's going to be an awesome show.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, and good luck the rest of the year. All right.
Ready
North
for our
Iowa-
next guest?
North Iowa Nationals, it's fun. It's a big one. It's a fun one. I really am glad that they moved the date because Rock Valley, boy, that was a confusing kerfluffle there for a while. And the two biggest ones in Iowa, we're on the same weekend. So let's go up. What do you call you guys? When I'm announcing, I talk about the Show Me State. I talk about the Cornhusker State.
The Badger State.
All you big things, you're not like the cheese state or the dairy state. There's nothing.
Let's go to the dairy state.
Spotted cow state. Let's go north. Let's go north to the Badger State, where quite literally we're going to welcome some representatives from Badger State polling. I think we have a pair of guests coming on here.
We do.
We have two guests in the green room, Glenn and Jody. Is that right? What's going on, Mr. Jason Schultz?
He's multitasking again.
I can't hear what he's saying. What's he saying?
He's announcing right now the distances of whoever just pulled.
We're having fun. I just logged into my podcast. Let's go pulling. Mike and Kenzie running the controls tonight. Live from Redmond, Illinois, the Adams County Fair. We got green flags. We got tight chains.
Oh!
See, now people are taking your stuff, Mike.
I want some royalties. I need some royalties off that, buddy. He gets off of there.
All right.
For those of you who don't know, he stole my line. Let's bring on Glenn and Jody. Let's talk about Oshkosh.
It's Glenn and Doug, by the way.
Glenn and Doug. Where did I have Jody? No Jody?
I think that was for a different.
No worries. Doug, Glenn,
Jody was possibly going to come on with us.
Oh, gotcha.
Gotcha. So we've got Glenn, we've got Doug. Glenn's looking like he's ready to roll. Doug's looking like his internet's still coming up to speed. And we're going to talk about Oshkosh, Wisconsin at is it Winnebago? At the Winnebago
Fair.
County Fair. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Not nearly as versed in Badger State pulling as I am in NTPA or Outlaw pulling. Bring me up to speed. Tell me everything we know. Here's what I do know about Badger State. It gets talked about a lot. It's got an amazing reputation. It's got a bunch of hard runners. So thank you for being on our show. Tell me what we need to know about Badger State pulling and tell us about the pull in Oshkosh, Wisconsin this weekend.
Well, we're running the Super Farm, Badger State Super Farms, the 540 Light Pros, the Light Limited Super Stocks, the Pro Stock Diesel pickups, and the Mod two-wheel drive trucks, and the 466 Hot Farms, all on Friday night. And we've got some great sponsors for our event, Brighton Acres, Compeer Financial, Culver's, 4Imprint, and a radio station, 99.5 WPKR. And then we've got equipment sponsors that get the stuff out on the track, get the work done. Palmer Farms, Powell Farms, Wires Equipment, and Waupun Equipment, and Heartland Custom Baling all help us out with equipment and get the tracks done. And this year we're going to have the world famous Pat Hack is coming up early that day to help us out with the track. So
Nice.
Hopefully the pullers will be happy.
Hope so.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, you get a world famous guy like that helping us out. Things will.
That is true. I'm glad he
Our
found
track's
time.
around, getting better every year, but this should be great.
Yes, 100%.
How long has this pull been going on? What's your role with it, and how long have you been in that position?
Kind of haven't left it since I left the fair board. I don't remember exactly what year. Somewhere's around 2000 we started using Badger State, and been with them ever since. We had a WTPA event before that, and somehow we got with the Badger State guys, and it's been very successful. I know Jason has been up there in the early years announcing, and well, you know how that goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We literally just we were graced with the live look in from Minden, Illinois. So, no, we know precisely how that goes. Talk to us about your facilities. Are we looking at a single track show, a double track show?
Double track show.
Wonderful.
Beautiful viewing. Several years ago, they took I took the racetrack out. Little public controversy there, but it turned out very well in our favor for tractor pulling, because now we have a track that is just for things like that.
Yes.
And it's a lot more maintainable, should you say?
Sure.
For tractor pulling. They get rye planted on it in the fall, so you've got that, getting that legume in there, and so it gets better every year.
Yep. And we got seating on both sides, big grandstand.
Big grandstand on the one side, and then there's the pit side. There's not really any seating, but there's standing room, and there's always some trailers out there. That's where the announcers work from.
Yep. So we can picture it. This is your cream of the crop county fair. This is kind of set up the way that they are. And you talked about how they've moved away from the roundy round track to the exclusive pulling track, which makes it much more adaptable to your needs and your style. What time's showtime, and what are the costs to get in, and special deals and such as that? Yeah,
it starts at 7:00 Friday. There's the gate fee is $15, and that includes everything. Includes, your parking, if you desire the midway rides, it includes that, the grandstand, the tractor pull, the whole deal.
Right. $15 gets you in the fair, and once you've paid your $10 and your $5 bill, then you're in for whatever entertainment that you would seek. And I'm assuming, working with an organization as successful as Badger State, and that you've been doing it for as long as you have, that tells me your crowds are pretty good every year.
We normally have a very good crowd. The grandstand, sorry about that. The grandstand holds.
Ooh, someone's getting a call.
Yeah, it's a first response. Do we need to go hop in the fire suit really quick and go take care of something?
No, that's a neighboring one. That's not us. We're good.
Oh, okay. Are you a volunteer responder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, folks, if he hops up in a hurry, we know why. He is saving a situation. So
I will put it off on somebody else tonight.
There you go. Yeah, we're going pulling tonight. So you're talking about how your crowds have been very faithful and very pleased over the years.
Very nice, very nice facility that was built there. The first half of the grandstand was done long before stock car racing, and then they doubled it for the oval track, the dirt track that was there. So it's a very nice facility to watch from. And that picture that you had up of when the oval, the dirt track was there, the pulling track is right along the edge of that blacktop strip in the front of the grandstand. So it is, it's a beautiful facility to watch from.
Kenzie, have you been to this pool before?
I have not. No. Nope.
Okay. But you're well versed in Badger State pulling, I assume.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, more than the average person.
I'll ask both of you then. Which of these classes, and I'm looking at all of them, and each of these are excellent classes. Up there in Wisconsin, which of these, based on the competition we're going to see, is going to keep the fans on the edge of their seat the most?
I'd say between the hot farms and the super farms.
Super farms are solid all over the world right now. Mm-hmm. Glenn, which one keeps you on your edge of the seat your most?
I would say the light pros.
Yeah, the 540s.
They're always exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still getting good numbers in that class? Some associations are battling smaller turnouts, but I think it was maybe Fort Recovery or somewhere had huge numbers this past weekend with the light pros.
We've had good luck ever since it started.
Good.
Good support. The hot farm class would probably be it'll be between the hot farm and the super farm for the biggest numbers, I would say. This is the first year we've brought back gas, like the mod trucks. That should certainly be exciting because they're going to be by far the loudest thing out there.
Yeah.
And that always makes for some good attention to what's going on. When you get that kind of noise, that's always exciting.
So let's hit the classes again. I can see it in the bottom right down here. We've got the 9,500 hot farms, the 9,300 pound super farms, your 85 light pros, your light limited supers, your pro stock diesel trucks. And did we talk, was there 2-wheel drives too? Did I hear 2-wheel drives were being thrown around, or no 2-wheel drives?
Yes. No, the 2-wheel drives. Yes, we had booked the 2-wheel drives.
I'm fairly certain, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a Badger State family that comes down and plays with us in the Outlaws from time to time. Do the Timmermans run Badger State? Is that? Yeah,
Yes.
they picked up a big win on Wednesday night. They came down here and Kenzie's trying not to smile because her Wisconsin pride is showing
I
through.
don't
But
get to see him very
I've
often.
seen them show up every once in a while with the Outlaws, and you better have your ducks in a row because they're an X Factor team that knows how to park it in the winner's circle. So I would think the 2-wheel drives would be a fun one to keep your eye on too. Give us a ballpark. How many tractors how many total vehicles are we going to see go down the track on Friday night?
Oh man, I'd say 60.
So you got a perfect show lined up, truly a perfect show. Yep.
Yeah, when they get it done, you know, we're out of there, 9 o'clock, starting at 7, 9:30. It's wrapping up and the people are back out. They're happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what else is the Winnebago County Fair famous for? I mean, are we getting in there and getting plate-sized tenderloins or, deep fried cheese curds or something like that?
Every fair's got the cheese curd thing going on somewhere.
Hard pass. I tried them once. I went to Toma, Wisconsin in 2018, and it was the Timmermans actually, and they insisted. They said, you have to try these. I'm not from dairy country. Not for me, but you guys love them.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And, you've got some good Euro stands or, people are, after those. And, it's all, there's all kinds of different food things. Sweet corn right outside the grandstand. There's a steam engine club selling sweet corn. They steam it.
Cool.
And, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday night, 7 o'clock, $15 gets you in the door to the entire fair. You're going to see around 60 top tier classes, 60 top tier vehicles in about 7 different classes, 6 or 7 different classes going down the track. That's got the recipe for a great show. What closing statements do you have for? We have him to about 8:45, right, Kenzie?
8:50.
Oh, we got 3 more minutes then. Well, we can still roll. Okay. Give me your favorite aspect as an individual of being involved in this.
All the great people that I've met, my family has met over the years, being involved with pulling. It's just phenomenal. You meet people and they're just fun to talk to. I mean, you look at Jason, he's somebody that you can't deny it. He's when they had their 1206 hot farm tractor, they got their first win when he was announcing at our pull, and there was just excitement everywhere.
Oh, I bet for many hours.
Just that, He was handing out T-shirts and hats and over by his trailer when we went over by him after the pull.
How big would you say pulling is in the county and in your area? Is this something that, it sounds like the fans are very passionate about? Is this one of those hotbed spots for truck and tractor pulling?
It is. They Badger State gets up to does the Macville Nationals, which is just a couple miles north of Appleton, which is 20 minutes away from us. And that is a huge, huge event. We have our farm tractor pull the night before, and that is wildly successful. We'll have 120 farm tractor hooks, and it's all hooked. So there's not everybody's like, oh, can't we hook twice? No, we can't get it done. We have 2 trailers for that too, but no way. It's just a big event. So it goes over well.
If you could give one message to anybody watching tonight or any fan contemplating attending or that has attended, what would you tell these wonderful fans that are going to come out to the Winnebago County Fair in Oshkosh, Wisconsin?
Come on out. It's a great deal. The entertainment for that $15, or if you get an advance ticket for $12, for your money spent.
That's bang for buck. Yeah.
You can't find anything any better for $15.
I couldn't buy myself something to eat at Sonic for $15. So
right.
You know.
So I mean, that's the only thing you got to buy is your food and refreshment, or if you want to play games or whatever. After that, everything else is included in that. So it's a terrific deal. Absolutely.
Well, I can tell just speaking with you that you've got all the passion for it. That tells me this is a pull that I wish I could attend because, the passion's there for pulling in the classes. Kenzie, that's a stacked lineup of classes. If nothing else, you just take away all the hype from it to the nitty gritty. You're going to see a top tier show. So 7:00 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the Winnebago County Fair. I'm saying that as much as I can because how often in Missouri do you get to say words like Oshkosh and Winnebago? So that's as fun as it gets in and of itself. But in Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the Winnebago County Fair, approximately 60 hooks, 9,500, 466. Southern Midwesterners, that's going to be like our light limited pros. Super Farms, light pro stocks, light limited supers, pro stock trucks, and then the super modified 2-wheel drives. Doesn't get any better than that. Glenn, thank you so much for being on our show tonight. This has been fun chatting with you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Best of luck this Friday. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Mac Kenzie. Entertain the
to a Badger State show.
What's that?
We got to get you to a Badger State show sometime.
I do. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to entertain the crowd and be the engagement specialist and future announcer that you are for 27 seconds while I run downstairs and grab my power cord. Folks, I'm using a backup computer. My computer is somewhere in an outlaw truck in Iowa or Nebraska. I'll be back in 27 seconds.
I can play some commercials.
Do it.
All right.
The official fan app for truck and tractor pulling. Sign up, pick winners, win cash. It's that easy. fullpull.us.
GMS Manufacturing and Machine. Helping you build a superior foundation with top quality parts and service. Give Brent a call today.
Coal Train Energy is American-made energy and Midwest based in Syracuse, Missouri. Free shipping is available at coaltrainenergy.com. Check out their new flavors online.
Heavy diesel rebuilds and machine work is High Plains Performance's specialty. Their team of qualified and experienced professionals are at the top of their industry. Contact Doug for a quote today.
The world's #1 racing and performance marketplace. Cars, parts, antiques, trailers, and so much more. RacingJunk.com.
Lincoln Diesel Specialties offers high-quality diesel performance products and services for various models of trucks. Check them out online.
Ooh, I gotta change that background. That is super blurry.
Let's talk about Moville, Iowa. Kurt Paulson. We got Kurt hanging out in the green room.
We got this lovely man, Doug, hanging out with us. I don't know where Kurt is, but
I think Kurt is at home.
Kurt, I had so much heck I was going to give Kurt. He owed me a steak, so I was looking forward to a hard time. Doug, thank you for being with us on Let's Grow Pulling tonight. We're going to talk outlaw truck and tractor pulling in Moville, Iowa. How are you this evening?
Good.
Good. Excellent. So going off the top of my head, we're going to be in Scribner on Thursday, Gibbon Friday, Moville Saturday.
Yes.
Give us a hot and dirty on Moville, Iowa. What time? What's our class lineup? And what's everybody need to know about this awesome show for Thunder in the Dirt?
7 o'clock Saturday night. Prior to that, we actually have, of course, it's Fair Week. So we have a pile of antique tractors. They have a parade kind of before the pole starts. They bring those in front of the grandstands. And at 7 o'clock, we get the show started. Usually, we want it at 7 o'clock right on the dot.
Absolutely.
Last year, we added the light limited mods, but we had to call the pole because of a major storm coming in. So we didn't have a pole. So we're excited about this year. But we got the light limited mods, super farms, unlimited super stocks, light limited pro stocks, and then the light super ags that we added this year.
Yep.
And then the modified 4-wheel drives.
Very comparable show, and this is just going off the top of my head. Kenzie, you weren't there. You were in Platte City, but for all the Outlaw fans out there, as far as classes are concerned, this is going to be a comparable show to what we ran in Lamar's, Iowa, day before yesterday, which I can promise you creates for an absolutely top-tier show. How long have you guys been putting on the truck and tractor pull there in Moville, and how long have you had a partnership with the Outlaws?
This poll's been going. There was a couple years that we didn't have it, but it's been going since the 60s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So this is a rich pulling tradition over and through there. What's your specific role with it, and are you a puller yourself?
Well, I am on the board of directors, and I've been involved with the poll for many years. Kind of started when I got involved. I was actually running the light super stock myself, and we just been going at it ever since as far as keeping the poll going.
Wonderful. So talk to me about facilities, setups, and price to get in. Are we running 2 tracks? We running 1 track?
We actually do something a little different. We have 2 tracks, but one of the tracks is for mini rods and garden tractors.
No kidding.
So we're running the Outlaws right beside another association with the mini rods.
I have seen that done in a few places, and that makes for a wildly intriguing and interesting show. You're going to gather every different version of pulling enthusiast under one canopy at the same time.
Right. It was a little hectic at first trying to get it going with, when we had the changes in the insurance, and everybody worked together with the associations, and we've been doing that for a few years now. It's been working great.
Yeah, that's super cool. So we got Outlaws running on their own side, and then we've got the smaller version over there. What's this fair famous for? I mean, you guys have, Lamar's, they've got the pork chopping glove. Do you guys have anything incredible like that, or just top-notch truck and tractor pulling?
I'd say the tractor pulling, of course, livestock is quite a big thing at our fair. The other thing, I'll got to get something in here for Kurt. You got to have one of his brother-in-law's fillies. They're down there at the pits. They're pretty good.
Like a filly, like a cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I definitely.
I am that. Kurt owes me a Wagyu beef steak. That's a bit of an inside joke. Kenzie might have been there.
I was. That's in Arlington, wasn't it?
There were some late night negotiations occurring, and I'll leave it at that. But my freezer or my fridge is still looking for that. So
I think we had some of those negotiations going on Friday night working on the Crazy Horse.
Then negotiations might be from now on, folks. You have an out. If your wife calls you, wants to know what's going on, you say, I'm working on some negotiations here. That's part of it.
Yeah, Jason was down in this neck of the woods Saturday night. He came down here after Lamar's, and of course, time I got down there, he was already on the road.
Yeah. So, Kurt, to answer your question, I will be in Moville, but of course, the voice of the Outlaws, Mr. Ron Stone's going to be announcing it. But I will be operating the starting line camera.
You'll be the end camera. You're all I've got this weekend.
I don't have to carry the heavy camera
Nope.
Oh man, this is wonderful. Breaking news, folks. So let's continue talking right here about the truck and tractor pull that we have going on. What's your why, Doug? What keeps you motivated? You know, I've never had to promote a pull, but I've seen what goes on behind the scenes at a pull. It can be exhausting, you know, but what keeps you coming back year after year to put on the best pull possible for these fine folks?
I just want to keep the pull going at our county fair. We actually won pull of the year one year, and that really meant a lot to us.
Yes.
And we're trying to do that again. We just try to, you know, every year we're, I think it's something with me and Ben Groth, who helps me build the track. We take a lot of pride in that track, and every year we try to make it consistent for everybody, you know, for year after year.
I will put any outlaw affiliated track up against any other track every day of the week. If there's one thing I've seen after 1 year of working with this association, it's the pride that the track builder has at every single fair, every single pull. You know, it's going to be a great one. When did you guys win pull of the year? You know, that is quite an honor. I saw them giving that away at the banquet last year. That is a big deal.
I think they had like 3 different levels of it.
Sure.
And that's probably been about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Right. Yeah, I know that you can get like a Supreme National Pull of the Year, Grand National Pull of the Year,
right.
regional National Pull of the Year. So those are different stages they give it out, but it's always something fun that you want to put a lot of pride in there as well. Let's take a quick look. You know, a neat thing we can do. I was going to ask you how many hooks that we might have. Do you have the Outlaw Pulling app?
Oh yeah.
Fans can have the app. Let's go ahead and take a live look in right now at Moville. So as Doug said, we've got 4-wheel drives, light limited mods, the light supers or the unlimited supers, depending on how you call that, the light super ag, the regional LLPs, and the super farms. And we've got, of course, not everyone's going to be checked in at all by this point. How many hooks are you anticipating?
Oh, I'll bet we'll have 50 to 60 for sure.
That would be kind of what I would guess. So yet again, a bread and butter.
You know, perfect. It depends on the 2 days prior.
Yeah, these, I tell you, that's the one thing about pulling with the Outlaws. It is a war of stamina. They put you through the ringer, and yeah, you're going to be show number 3 out of a 4-day sweep after a 4-day sweep the previous week. So keeping it together would be the name of the game, you know.
Oh yeah, I remember when we were pulling. That's when we were pulling heavy diesel, and of course we had an issue, and then all night long, you know, we had to make our hometown pull and slept in the pickup a couple hours outside the shop, and away we came. And then we still had to build a track.
Sure. Yeah. What were your tractors? Tell the fans out there. You said you had a light super, and now you're saying you had a diesel super, maybe?
I had 2 light supers. Both were called Burning Desire.
Okay.
The first one was a 460. Second one bumped up the hood. Of course, they were MXM 155. And then diesel super stock was a Red Alert.
Okay. Did we burn diesel on all 3 editions here?
Yeah.
So we were a light super diesel guy, and then as times get to changing and as the Alkies kind of came onto the scene, you realize that the best place to go play was going to be over in the diesel super side of things. When did the pulling career come to its end?
Oh, I think I sold Red Alert in probably 13.
Okay.
Do you ever watch your hometown pull and watch some of these smoke blowers? And does that bug ever start to bite you? And does that itch ever crawl its way back in there? What would we do to have to get you back in the seat of one again?
Well, the neighbor's got me working on his alcohol tractor now. So working on those, your hands are so clean after you're done.
Yeah, none of this trimming the fingernails every time and using the what was that gritty old orange soap that you used to find in the shops? But those alky burners are quite a bit more finicky though, so you might you might wish that you had the diesel one on the track. If you could build one for yourself right now, you know, money's not an issue, travel's not an issue, what class would you build into?
I always said I wanted to run a mini rod.
No kidding.
Like a Bauer tractor mini rod, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say, you know, something diesel oriented. You were going to run, you know, a 4.1 or a Super Farm. So I was not prepared for mini rod.
I always thought that would be something fun to take down the track once.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to have to go over to the other track while we're there this weekend and see if someone will let you take one for a test ride.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. It would probably, you know, since we really don't have much like that in the Outlaws, I'd probably think about building an alcohol tractor.
No kidding. So you're sticking with the super stock side of thing. Yep. Would you stick in the ag component, or would you put the ag chassis, or would you go with the component rear end in it?
Oh, I kind of like that little light ag class.
That's a fun class.
Oh,
I tell you, that is a fun class. I'm a big fan of that one. So yeah, that'd be a neat one to get into. So showtime's 7 o'clock, or we got a 6 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Saturday night, Moville, Iowa. How big of an impact is this fair and this pull on your community? We've spoken to several guests tonight to talk about how for one night, this brings in everything to their little town. How much does Moville get excited for this?
Well, pretty good. The one thing, our fair for the week, we usually draw in about 100,000 people.
Wow.
And the tractor pull night is a big night for us. A lot of people, you know, of course, they come early, they go to the fair. And once we get into the fair, you know, then you got to go to the grandstands. You know, a lot of people say they pay once and get in. We actually have to pay $2 to get in, just because we have a pretty good sized fair and a lot of things to do at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of free entertainment at the fair. And I guess the other thing is, you know, so they can come and spend some time during the day and then do that. And
so what is it to get you into the fair, and then what is it to get into the grandstand? Just so
$7 to get into the fair. And once you're there, there's, like I said, there's all kinds of different things. There might be a band playing at the free stage, and there might be something going on at the beer garden. And then to get into the poll, 12 and over is 15.
Okay.
And then 5 to 11 is 5, and then under 5 is free.
So still within the reasonable sphere of what you could pay for national level entertainment of pulling.
Right.
No doubt.
Or you can go into the pits and pay. It's either $20 or $25 to get into the pits. We have stands in the pits too, and there's food vendors and a beer garden on the pit side too.
So that would be like the driver's entry, basically. You come through the separate entry and pay $25 over there and kind of have your own separate removed little area. That's good to know as well. That's really nice. You know, one thing I've actually ran into, and this is going to sound really silly, but as someone on the production side, oftentimes you come in through the pits, you get busy, you get hungry, you've got 20 minutes, 10 minutes to go grab a bite to eat. There's nothing over there. You've got to go find a way to get out in the midway and whatnot. And by the time you mess with that, so the idea of just having some amenities there on the pit side is a nice way to think about things and set up things, because that's going to be convenient for anyone who's working on that side or watching on that side as well.
And that's where you can get Kurt to get you your ribeye.
It'll
be on that side on the pit side of the track.
He says it's unlike any meat you've ever had before. Yes, this was negotiated in Arlington, Nebraska. Kenzie, truth be told, that's about the only time we went out. And this is not in jest. This is not me making a joke. I make jokes about this all the time. That's about the only time we really have kind of howled at the moon out on the outlaw circuit this year. We've been good pulling workers with the exception of Arlington. But Arlington was fun, made a lot of good friends, including Kurt Paulson. Now, is this Kurt's hometown then? Is he from Moville?
Kurt just lives about a half mile from me, and we're about 10 miles from Moville.
Okay.
But this is your hometown.
This is our
pull. This is
county,
your
yeah.
home fair. Yeah. So he'll be fighting the hometown curse this weekend. Anybody you need to thank? You have a long list of sponsors and partners.
There's a lot of sponsors. I got to kind of pull that up here, but the biggest one is Vetter Equipment, Case IH dealership, for the equipment that they let us use. There's some other companies like Ziegler Cat. They have power units down there, lights and everything for us. There's
cool.
Nutrien helps us with the track. They bring the water and the sprayer and everything. And that's the one thing when we build the track, we don't just dump the water on. We spray it on lightly, work it in, and it seems to work the best for us. Mid-Country, Murphy Tractor, Readers donating, graders and payloaders and everything like that. United Bank of Iowa, Wyatel, local company that supplies internet. And of course, can't forget Paulson Auctions. I'll be in trouble. And I'm sure there's some that I missed. But without the sponsors and the biggest thing is the people that let us use their equipment to do this we couldn't do it without those people.
Sponsors, track prep crew, volunteers, community. Those are probably the four corners that a tractor pull or a fair is built on. The sponsors and people helping out, whether you're giving money, giving equipment, giving time, that's a backbone that without it's just, you got to have them, so they do it amazing.
It's always hard. Ben, that his dad had been building tracks there since 1968. We lost him a few years ago, and he has taken over to help me. And without his support and his family, because he has two of his brother-in-laws that unhook and hook the sled, and then we got a couple other guys but those guys hooking and unhooking those sleds all night long, I mean, that's work. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was telling a story. We were at an outlaw pull where they needed a hooker and an unhooker, and someone was like, well, I'll do it or whatever. And they said, no, you don't understand. This hook is a behemoth. You will be legit. This isn't just a faint job like, oh, come back here. Look, I get to stand near a tractor. Like the hooking and unhooking is an unsung hero's job, because that thing is a boat anchor that you're putting in vehicles every time.
One night we were talking, what excites you the most going down the track? And we're kind of talking, when that hook gets set into your hitch, is it that noise with that hitting, or is it when you actually take the slack out of the chain and your tires squat? Those are two things that a lot of people will never experience. And I don't know, there's something about those two feelings that you can't compare to anything.
My favorite camera shot to get when I'm running the starting line camera is the hook drop. When you get up on the pan of the sled and you watch them drop that in there. I mean, it's like an opening tip in basketball. It's just everything is ready to go. Kenzie doesn't like it because I get in there and I get her about 40 different hook drops a night, and you can't see them at dark or whatever, but it's a special feeling when you hear that, steel on steel thud, and you're like, oh boys, we're about to get one.
Yeah.
So, well, Doug, this has been great talking to you. Sounds like an awesome fair. I can't wait to be there to experience it. Evidently, I won't be getting any hook drop shots because I'm taking the 300 foot camera this weekend. Moville, Iowa, Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. Handful of awesome classes, 60 total hooks, 7 o'clock. Folks, come on out. Doug, any closing thoughts for the viewers at home?
Just hope that we have a good crowd. You're going to enjoy it, because with that extra class we added, we got more noise coming.
Can't wait. Thank you for taking time out of your night and being on the show with us. Folks, come on out to the fair in Moville, Iowa, and watch some great pulling.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
All right, Jet. If my computer would work, that would be great. Mr. Brian Massetti joins us.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Ryan, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
We're doing excellent. All the way from the now I'm losing track of. You're not the Sunshine State. You're the Golden State. All the way from the Golden State out in California. The head man at Major League Motorsports, Brian Massetti. Brian, what's on the docket this week, buddy?
So this week we are headed up north to Ukiah, which we've been going up there for 25 years. We've been doing it.
Wow.
Just a great fair, small little town up in the Redwoods. They call it the Redwood Empire Fair, but neat area. We love going up there. It's just a fun little fair, and we're going to go bring them some action.
Bring me the hot and dirty. So I have been chin deep in outlaw truck and tractor pulling this season, and I have not checked in with the MLM clan the way I thought I would. After the Pullers Championship, I felt this is just going to be something I'm going to be able to follow. But you know how it goes when you get busy with what's in front of you. So give me and the fans kind of a quick rundown of how things have been and any neat stories, and then we'll talk about Ukiah more in depth here in a second.
And our season is going great. We've had a couple weeks off, but the events we've done have been fantastic. Turnouts have been great all across the classes. The fans have been showing up too. We've been to we were in Chowchilla, just half an hour north of home. That was our season opener. That was a great event. Then we went up to Stockton, and we did 2 back-to-back up near where we're going this weekend. But just phenomenal turnouts. The competitors have just seemed to step up this year. We had in our pro modified class, I think we had 15 in Willits, which it's a lot for us for one class. All the tractors, everybody's got everything running good, keeping on top of stuff. It's been fun. It's been a great season.
You sound pleased. I mean, I can kind of see it on your face that it's everything you're hoping it was going to be so far.
100%.
I could tell when I met you last fall and we did our first couple of podcasts together that this was something that was quickly moving in the right direction. Then after meeting several of the pullers in Illinois and then just kind of following the early stages, I'm really pleased to hear that the fans are doing what they need to be doing, because it was one of those that was right on the cusp. And I was like, this MLM stuff, it's got all the right markings and it's got all the right recipe to be there. So to get this update from you and hear that, yeah, like the stars are aligning, this is really, really cool. Any big stories? You got a puller who's maybe trying something new and running away with it, or any tight points races so far?
The points race in our pro modified trucks is the tightest one we've had in a long time, and it's kind of cool. Well, it's really exciting for me because right now our truck with James driving is leading the points.
Sure.
And then actually John Boer is right there. I think John and Vindicator are tied for second or third. And then Garrett Reeve, this is his first year driving. He turned 16 the weekend we were all together there in Illinois.
No kidding. Good for him.
Yeah. So he's driving, and he's right up in there too. In fact, they went to Garrett and Donnie, his grandpa, went to I think it was Weiser, Idaho, a couple of weekends ago, and he ended up winning on Friday night, and he got second on Saturday night. So that's a pretty fun little story. With the exception of John, you got these young kids out there kind of leading the pack in our deal. And
and that's almost, with all due respect, I see this in pulling, but with all due respect to the elder statesmen or the veterans, you as a promoter or as an owner or a president, you want that. You want to see that you've got, young, because without it, I hear there's always this weird dichotomy between the older pullers and the young pullers, and, they don't want to lose to the young guns. But without those guys, like you gotta breathe that new life in there. So that can make for some fun stories. That's what we want. We want to see the sport building for the next 40, 50 years.
For sure. And, most all these guys that are pulling out here have watched these kids grow up. They've known them since they were playing with their little remote control trucks in the pits.
Yeah.
So now to out there be competing with them and everybody that's out there wants to win I mean, that's why they go, right? But they're just as happy to see these kids doing well. It's exciting. It's neat to see, especially that class has really kind of come together this year. More so than in the past. And another kind of interesting story, like you had asked, that the Reeve family, there's 3 generations competing in this class.
The same class.
Same class. Yeah. We've had 3 generations drive in an event, but 3 different classes in our family. But to be all in the same class is kind of cool. And I know we had talked about it months ago, but the Sullivan family has done this once in the 2-wheel drive class, I believe. I was talking to Brant about it, and he and his dad and his grandpa all ran 2-wheelers.
Yes, that would be definitely the most likely other family too.
Yeah.
And it's even a coincidence that you've got Brant then out there in California with it too. So there's some fun narratives spooling around out there.
It is. No, and things they're just, I am excited about how things are going and where we're at and the moves we're making and where we're headed. It's very exciting. Things are going well. We're just going to keep doing it and keep doing what we do and keep putting them out there. So.
When you're on a hot streak, don't change anything. So let's talk about Ukiah. We've got our chance to catch up as pals here and to feel the hype. The Olmers with Sweet Pain. Yes, absolutely. So that would be true as well. So absolutely. What's going on in Ukiah? Hello, Mr. Schultz.
Hey, buddy.
Live from Minden, Illinois.
A live look in on the Let's Go Polling podcast with my friend Brian Massetti from California right now. We have 2 classes left here in Minden, Illinois at the Adams County Fair. Been watching some IFPA Illinois farm pullers tonight, as well as the Western Series Lucas Oil Pro Polling League. Good to see my friend Brian Massetti, Mike and Kenzie running everything for me back in the house, but I had to say hi. So what's been going on?
Buddy.
How are you?
Everything's good. We were just catching up on our season. Everything has been going great. Our turnouts have been awesome. Competition's good. We're excited about where we are and where we're headed. Big things coming this way. We're excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to work.
Thanks for checking in, buddy.
It's always fun when Jason can pop in. And Kenzie, Jason's working. I
told you, he multitasks almost very well.
He's not hanging out at the office and just drinking Coltrane's. I mean, he has got a microphone in his hand.
Nope.
So I haven't got to talk to Jason for a while. I know I've been watching. I know you guys are busy. So yesterday afternoon, I was driving home and I said, I'm going to call Jason, just see what he's up to. Maybe he's on the road. So I call and he picks up and he's like, hey, buddy, I'm announcing a show in somewhere Illinois right now. What's up? I said, oh, man, I just called to say hi. And he goes, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. So he's just like right now, he's checking in with us while he's announcing. Last night, he answers the call.
The story is these promoters from Illinois called him in like January. Yeah. And they said, we love your work. You're really impressive. Beer Money Pulling Team is great. Like, please come announce this pull for us. He's like, when is it? Whatever. And they're like, it's a Sunday and a Monday. And he's like, oh yeah. Like, what could possibly be going on? Well, he didn't realize that he had 4 pulls in the previous 4 days that took him everywhere from the middle of Nebraska to Fort Recovery, Ohio, and back. Yeah. So, he's telling me he's surviving on Coltrane at the moment. So.
Yeah, that's a good thing Coltrane came on board.
Ron says, Brian, you should convoy out with the Reeves to Missouri in September. Are the Reeves coming pulling with us in my state?
They are. Does Ken Summers put on a pull somewhere near you?
In Buckner.
Okay, that's where they're going, Buckner.
Yep.
But is that like September 6th or 7th?
Yeah, that weekend.
So problem is we're putting on a pull here in California that weekend.
Oh dang.
So I can't go, but yes, Donnie and Lori are headed out to Buckner, and that because we pulled the weekend before in Winnemucca, Nevada. So they're just leaving from there to head east and come out and see you guys.
Buckner, Missouri, Saturday, September 7th at 6 o'clock. But tell us about Ukiah. Ukiah is your show. Tell us everything we need to know about Ukiah.
Ukiah is it's just a great little county fair. We're going to run our 74 and 6,000 pound mod tractor classes. We've also got our 2 hot farm classes. We have a 12,000 and an 8,500 pound, running pro stock diesel pickups, limited pro stock pickups, work stock diesel, our 6,000 super stock 4-wheel drives, economy modified tractors, and then all of our stock and street classes for the 4-wheel drive pickups. And California's a big state, and we travel all over it, and it's fun to go up to these places, because some of these people, this is the only time of the only event of the year we'll see them. They come out to their local fair pull, but they're just, seems like we just pick up where we left off with them last year. Just, it's neat to see how that works. And you guys probably experience the same thing. You go to certain places and
and every place holds a unique importance to you or resonates with you in a different way. There's a memory here. We were joking with the previous guest, Arlington, Nebraska. That's going to be one where I'm always going to be showing up maybe with a few extra drinks. Or Sac City, Iowa is always going to be the place where I remember it all started. But you touched on something that I, as a pulling fan, take for granted. We do these big 4-day trips with the Outlaws, and we go to eastern Nebraska, and every show is within 45 minutes of each other, an hour and a half of each other. We can see pulling truly anytime we want to. When you go up to Northern California, this might be one of the few opportunities that these folks have to see professional level pulling. I don't know how far away it is, but they might be going several hours to come down to the rest of your shows. Does that give you a little extra inspiration to be on your A game for these guys, knowing that they don't get the opportunities that maybe other people do?
Yes, a little bit, but we pride ourselves on trying to bring the best show everywhere we go. But what the kind of unique thing about our season is the 2 that we did though in late June, they were maybe an hour from here, from where we're going, from Ukiah, which is all about 5 hours from home. So we do see a few of the same faces up there. And it actually, this Ukiah is where the first one in that area that we'd been doing. And then when we added the second one, the fair manager was a little nervous, but they're 2 months apart. But I tried to explain to her that actually it's better, because then people see it and they're excited and they want to come back and see it again. And it has helped both shows that we keep doing them. So
am I understanding this correctly, that Ukiah itself has 2 shows, or there are 2 shows in the area?
The area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way back when I was in high school, Ukiah does this is their main fair in August, and then they have a spring fair in probably May. We used to go up there and pull twice a year, but then they cut it. The spring fair they really cut back, and then they just focus on their big the Redwood Empire Fair, which is their main fair.
So Sherry Benson says very few opportunities in Northern California. Love that Brian Massetti and his crew put on these shows for us. Yeah, that was exactly. She said it better than I did.
Yeah.
Sherry?
We love having. Yes, Sherry and Lee come. Sherry started driving the truck this year, and she's done very well.
Good.
Very, very well.
Good.
But I think this one is still probably, it's a good 2.5 hour drive for them to get to this one. But then the following weekend, we're kind of going to be, they're going to be driving east this time. And I'm sorry, they're driving west to come to this one. And then the following weekend, we're going to be a couple hours east of where they are. So it is kind of nice to be able to hit that kind of stuff.
What's the rest of the season look like for us after this weekend? And what's on the goals and what's on the dockets?
So then the 10th, the following Saturday, we're going to head up to Susanville, California, which is actually kind of directly north of Reno. So the easiest way for us to get there is to go into Reno and then go north.
And do you stop in Reno for about an hour and try to make some money?
You haven't met my brother yet, so no, we are not stopping in Reno. We're going to pass right through because
once we're on the road, we're going.
Yeah, no, that's the way I say it. Because my brother, if we stop in Reno for an hour, we're going to be there and miss the pool because we're going to end up staying.
Oh
But,
man.
No, so Susanville, we're excited to head up there. They haven't had a pool in probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 years up there. And so the fair manager had contacted me, and we're just bringing a standalone pool up there to their area. So I'm excited.
Oh, cool.
It's a neat area. Hasn't been pulling up there in a while. Another neat little fairground, kind of tucked up in a small little town. And basically, we're going to bring the same show up there, but we are adding the 8,000-pound tractors, which is our 3 or 4 engine class.
Yeah, your big mods.
Yeah, our biggest mods. So
good.
Yeah, we do miss Tony. These guys, you can kind of see in his profile picture that is a line of silage trucks. They chop silage for cattle feed, and those guys are busy. I mean, I don't know how many trucks they're running, but it's a ton. And that family is working. I think he told me one time they work from sun up to sun up. They just can't. They never stop. Just keep chopping.
We work until we don't.
Yeah.
So when showtime's at 6 o'clock, what are fans going to have to dig into their pockets and pull out to get into the gate? What's it cost to get in?
I think once they get in the fair, they're into the pool. I don't know that for sure, but this is one where I have a great relationship with Jennifer, the fair manager, but she is on me every year. She wants a 2-hour show and that's it, because she wants the people back out in the fair, eating, drinking, having a good time. Yeah.
Well, you can do that, go load up. I always get on the microphone and I tell fans right there at about 5:45, good time for something hot to eat, something cold to drink, load up. And, but I understand you definitely want to support both. They need to be without, sounding too direct, profitable. So that way they can continue to host you, and then you can continue to help the pullers, and it's all part of it. It's all part of the business side of it.
It's a business. We're hired entertainers. That's
true.
And
that's true.
We do what we're told.
I was interviewing a guy he said we're actors. How did he put it? It was Travis Schlaubaugh. And he said something, Kenzie, him, he's witty and just to the point. He goes, oh, we're just dancers or something like that. He goes, everyone thinks that this is a club where we're trying to win. He goes, at the end of the day, we've got to make sure that people are having a good time, because without butts in seats, nothing trickles, anywhere. So for sure. But a 2-hour show, you're going to be hustling. You're going to be hustling 2 hours.
We generally have 50 to 60 hooks there. We are running 2 sleds, so we'll have 2 tracks going, but still we run them one at a time. So we just try to have, when one sled is going, the other one's getting hooked up and ready to go. And then as soon as we get the track prepped, then they're running. So
when you go to a typical bread and butter show like Ukiah, what is Brian Massetti's role and job? Will you be driving a vehicle? Will you be guiding your boy? Will you be operating a sled, or will you be walking around putting out metaphorical fires? What does a night at a pull look like for you?
I will be running our sled. So during the show, and then also through our radios and headsets, I'm talking to Christy up in the booth, and talking to John down on the track, or to my kids or my brother. And just for the thing about the sled, I've got a lot going on in there, obviously, but I got a great vantage point of everything that's going on.
That's true. That's true.
So I could see that, there's somebody over here that shouldn't be there. And so then I'll call, or, so I'll be doing that. But I told Christy at one of our last events, I said, once we get there, and we're generally we're going to be there Friday. So we will be there early Saturday morning, and I'll get the sled set up. We'll get the scale ready, get all of our stuff done and ready. And then they're working the track. And then I told her, we'll get our vehicles weighed in, but I'm kind of worthless to our team at that point, because then I end up just, I talk to the competitor, talk to all of our people that have showed up, and I enjoy that, but I don't get much. I'm not much help to the rest of our team. But I guess that's my role at that point, is just to do that. And but I do enjoy it because we appreciate everyone that shows up. So I do like that I get to try to spend a few minutes with as many people as we can.
Right. Right.
But during, as far as once the event starts, I'm in the sled. Both of the boys, Trevor and James, and then my brother Kevin, they'll take care of all three of our vehicles. And then Trev is still the Cal Poly president, tractor pull president. So he's got their tractor to worry
all
about.
was going well on that front. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He says you're going to be doing a little more than just driving the sled this weekend.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Wade Bradshaw says you're the man. Yep. Brian is the man. I agree with that. Kenzie, have you ever seen a person have more fun on more fronts while announcing a tractor pull than Jason Schultz?
No, he needs to clean his lens off, though. It's pretty dirty.
I have never seen. If I tried to mow the yard while chewing bubblegum today and almost slid down the embankment. And Jason Schultz he's announcing, he's putting pictures on Snapchat, he's running a podcast. This man knows no limits.
He needs a lens wipe on his camera lens. It looks really smudgy. He can't hear us right now.
I say we're trying to give him a hard time. So everything's going good on the whole Team Massetti front. Cal Poly's doing well. MLM is doing well. Sled business is going smoothly. Just tickles me to hear that. I love getting it seems like you're on the show about once every month or 6 weeks, and it's fun to get a look in and see what's going on in your scope of things out there.
And I definitely appreciate everything that you guys as Beer Money does for us. It's a great relationship we have, I think. Just really, really value our partnership that we have and the exposure you bring to us. So
will we see, and because I like that you call it a partnership, because it's a lot of fun. Jason and I were having a cold drink in the motorhome on Wednesday night, and he kind of started talking about, and we started planning out what my season or what my itinerary might look like after the outlaw season is done. And he alluded to there were some places he'd really like to take me. And my fingers crossed, I really want to get out there to California and experience some of the things that are happening out there. I watched the GSI show last year. I've been trying to follow and learn as much as I can. I'm hoping to make my way out west. We saw one of your guys make his way to the east a little bit in Whitewright. Now, without letting too many rabbits out of the hat, will we see any more from the MLM guys before the season's over venturing to the Midwest?
So, Brant was out there, right?
Yeah, Brant was in Whitewright, Texas, along with we pulled from both sides that night because Papa Wayne came from Kentucky. So the Sullivan clan had a family reunion in Texas.
Kind of met there in the middle.
Yeah.
So I actually thought that Brant and Steve Melanesio were going to be making more trips with the Outlaws this year, but Steve had a little health issue at the beginning of the year, and I think that kind of changed plans maybe. So I don't know. I haven't actually asked him if they're making any other trips. But I know that Brant brought that two-wheeler back, and that's something we are definitely trying to cultivate. And that's a class we're looking to add to the Invitational this year. And Brant is personal friends with most of the guys just about everybody that runs, around. And he knows these guys his whole life. So he's helping me make contacts and try to get some of these guys to come out. So we're because now there's one two-wheeler in California. So we're getting there. That's a step in the right direction, right?
Sure. Yep. Two-wheelers are fun.
That's something that is different than anything we have. We don't have, the Pro Modified truck class is the largest class we have. But other than that, in the mod tractors or super farms or hot farms, we don't have huge numbers in any class. What we do have is great equipment.
Yes.
It's just there's not a lot of them, but that is growing. Our 7,400 pound mod class is going. It has the potential to be a great class. I mean,
you also have good variety, though. If each of your classes is going to hook 5 to 7 or 4 to 6 vehicles per night, some people might be like, "Oh, I'm only going to see 15 vehicles at a show." Like, no, you have a top tier equipment, but I was watching that GSI show, 11 classes, 13 classes. I mean, you have several different areas that people can sink their teeth into. So it's not, low numbers in any one given class is not going to make for a poor overall show.
You're right. You're right. And I think we do have a great variety, and the equipment that we do have is good stuff. I mean, it's some of the vehicles out here could go and compete anywhere and be, have respectable finishes. Maybe not go, clean house. But
they proved that at the Pullers Championship. Everybody wanted to see dollars to donuts. What are these 4-wheel drives going to do? And with some of them radically different setups on dirt that they'd never experienced before, we're still middle of the pack, and made runs that brought a lot of fans to their seats because they were seeing new equipment. If there's one thing I say on the internet all the time, it's less about winning and losing, and it's more about how much joy did it bring the fans. So I thought when they came and played with us in May, just did a great job representing themselves.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I think that was cool. And then, I'm going to say for us, but for our section of the country to have that opportunity to be represented, it's great. I think all it does is help.
Exactly.
It does help us all grow. So,
well, and I think your mod class too. I think between your tractor and you guys have the old Shelton tractors out there, that's going to be one where I think you're going to see yet again dollars to donuts or Coke to Pepsi. They're going to be standing side by side with a lot of places. Brant's got a mod and a 2-wheeler, right?
So they run in both the. I have a hard time calling the 7,400 pounds our heavy mods because we still have the 8,000. So but it's the same class the Outlaws run. So we have the light mod and the mod class. And they have one in each, a single and a twin engine tractor.
Their twin engine one is mean looking.
It's not only mean looking; it runs. It is badass.
Yes, it does.
A little buckle in the paws because there's a.
And it would be, and I love that as a fan of the sport and as watching and seeing the competition. I love it. But when you got a tractor that's running against that tractor, it sucks. But anyway, it is good, and that has elevated. It's just elevated the whole class, and which is good. Somebody had to do that because we were all too comfortable running what we had, and somebody had to come in and flip us on our head. And
that'll happen. I mean, truly stop and look. That every 10 to 15 years in an association in a class. That happens. The Connor brothers did that with super stock pulling in the early 90s. I feel like the Boyds / the Simons with Green Streak X or Loud and Heavy did that with the Pro Stocks. Every great once in a while, something out of nowhere. Cameron Neves, we were talking about him, here in the Outlaws. He's won, 4, 5, 6 hooks in a row. Sometimes you do. Someone needs to come into whatever association, shake the bag up, and then it pushes that whole group to the next level. So there's growing pains, and you don't love hooking against, on the competition side. But I love that you recognize that it's not always inherently a bad thing.
No, I do think it's good for big picture. It's great. It's just when you're in that class, it's
you'd like a couple of golds from time to time. You want to win, so.
Yeah. And then in that same class, this very good friends of Steve's, Melanesia, who were the tractor we're talking about, they bought the Corzines tractor.
That's
so
right.
it's
I
out
forgot
here.
it went out there as well. The Second Degree Burns out there also, and it's a mean runner.
Yeah, and I don't know when it'll be done, put together, finished and running. But another one is Donnie Fagundes, who runs Max Cackle Power Sports. He's got a 4-engine tractor now. He's got building a twin with 2 Hemis that I don't know how far along it is, or I think Scott Tedder put the chassis together for him. Previously.
Another big name. Yep.
So, and then he's got, I saw his engines down at Brant's not too long ago. So they're, that'll be another one in that class coming out.
Yeah.
So,
that class is going to explode soon. That's one to keep an eye on. Well, Brian, Ukiah is going to be great. Your association's doing well. You're doing well. This has been a ton of fun. Closing statements, thank yous, sponsorships, anything you need to tell the mass millions out there watching us right now?
I wish we had some huge sponsors I could thank, but instead I'm going to thank all of our competitors for showing up and putting on these great shows, because we could do all the planning, we can have everything there we need, but without the competitors showing up and bringing their equipment and running hard every time, we wouldn't have anything. So to all of our competitors, I want to thank you for the support and for being there.
Well said. Well said. That's perfect.
Ukiah
is on what night? Give us a quick rundown on Ukiah again. Make sure all the fans hear that.
This coming Saturday, August 3rd, 6 p.m., Redwood Empire Fair in Ukiah. Right there. All the class list is on our website. Our registration is up and open for this. So if you're going to compete, please go on over and fill out your registration, and we look forward to seeing everyone there.
Awesome. Guys, from Major League Motorsports, just pulling is awesome, coast to coast. Brian Massetti, thank you like always, catching up with you and joining us on Let's Grow Pulling, the official podcast of Beer Money Pulling Team.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Kenzie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Have a good night, bud.
You too.
Yep. All right. So we are getting a live look in from Minden, Illinois. I was watching some of these tractors. I'm guessing 4.1s.
I'm thinking 85s.
That I was between the two. I could have swore I saw Doug Root's tractor earlier. So that's why I thought 4.1. That might have been a while ago. So we might be on to the LLP. I'm not sure what classes are on out there. Track looks good. Looks like I got a Bungart sled. The fans look tired, as I'll leave it at that. So it looks like I think we so are we. I think I think we have some fans disguised as seats, but it is 10 o'clock on a Sunday, on a Monday. What day is it?
Where are we? I don't even know.
Anywho, wish Jason Schultz all the best of luck out there as he wraps up this show. And then he'll be coming home to turn right around and go outlaw pulling. When are you leaving to start our next 4-day sweep, Mac Kenzie?
I will be leaving Wednesday afternoon to drive to Rock Valley to pick up the production trailer. And then Thursday morning, I will be leaving to Scribner, Nebraska, which is another one of those right there by West Point, Wisner, Norfolk. If I remember, I think it's in the heart of outlaw territory. I've learned which way to point. Kenzie, closing statements for the fans. We talked about the North Iowa Nationals in Rockwell, Iowa. Have you been to that poll? I have a couple times. It's amazing. I wish I would be going this year.
Dope. That poll is what do the kids say? Okay, I'm getting ready to start teaching again, so I have to see what the kids would be saying. Are we still going with lit, or are we like?
I don't know. It's been a hot minute since I've been in school, Michael. So
I don't know. Yeah, you're closer to them than I am. For real. Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the Winnebago County Fair, Badger State Pullers. They're going to get down and dirty. And then, of course, Thunder in the Dirt, Case IH National Points Series with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association in Iowa. And then
against the green
you want to head on out
9.84.
to Ukiah, California, you can see the Redwood Empire Fair, where the Major League Motorsports is putting on their pull. We're getting 2 live look-ins now. Kenzie, how's he doing this?
So he has his laptop on, I'm guessing, facing him, and then his phone is on the track.
Oh, thought he had 2 phones. Oh, look at Kenzie.
No.
Kenzie is the resident technician.
I just know him very well. I just know how he operates.
Jason, are we watching 4-1s or are we watching 8,500 limited pros?
That's
Josh
85.
Hanna,
That's Andrew Tolkien.
309.84 is the distance to me. Let's see where he finishes up.
Yeah, that's Andrew Tolkien sitting right in front of us here. That red.
So these are LLPs?
Yeah, these are 85. Yep. I don't know who just ran, but yeah.
Well, he's got to beat 309. I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that.
This is cool. I don't mind this. I'm going to watch this show for a little bit.
Yeah.
Who's sitting in front of us right here? I've seen this tractor before.
Andrew Tolkien.
Where's he from? What's it called?
It's shoot. Is it the unknown? No, it's Mother's Nightmare.
Is that what it is? I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I know the driver, just not the name of the tractor.
And see, I'd be the other way. I'd know the tractor and not the driver. Andrew Tolkien, right here. We're gonna find out. I can't screen share anything though because I'm not on the production side of things.
Yeah.
Guys, it's Beer Money After Dark, so bear with us. Oh yeah, look at these. Look at these good-looking tractors. Okay, I'm gonna ask the fans this. Give me a comment. Okay, fans, give me a comment right now. So the name of this tractor, find it for me, Kens. What is it called?
Somebody's sharing it. I can't read that. My eyes aren't too good.
Okay. Either way, are you a fan, folks? I like my Pro Stocks with the name of the tractor on the side of the vehicle. I am pro wraps, pro graphics, pro paint job. I like my tractor. If it's called Red Horse,
it's
painted on the side field.
Wife's nightmare.
Kenzie, do you like tractors?
I do.
Do you like tractors with less graphics and no name written on the side, closer to an OEM paint job, or do you like them to boldly proclaim Dakota Deer, Bruley Buck right on the side of them with the fancy graphics? How do you take your Pro Stocks?
It doesn't matter as long as I know who they are.
Label them right on the side, because if I'm announcing and I haven't met you yet and my sheets blow away in the wind like they did in Lamar's, Iowa, I want to look down there and be like, boom, there it says it.
From your point and from a video editor point, that's good to know. Because when I'm making videos, I'm like, who is this?
So, tell us in the comments, do you like your traditional, clean, sharp, neat paint job, or do you want them all razzle-bedazzled? Do you want a Case IH painted white, ripping through sheet metal with a naughty nurse on the side of it? Or do you just want to keep it like Rob Russell's workhorse and clean and straight?
Or even Justin Wrangler's.
Justin, or I'll go even one more.
Yeah.
Like Rounds. What is it? Is Jason Round? His first name's Jason, right?
Yep.
And his not only are his not painted, like no graphics, they're not even named. 8370R.
Right. Yeah. So the 8360 is the old bootlegger.
That I knew, but we don't call it that. It's just 8360, and 8370 is just 8370.
Yep. So the 5020 is Industrial Force.
Yeah.
That's the name of that one.
But
it's on there though. On the front weight.
And it's all yellow and everything. That's the old. Isn't that the old wrapped up?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. Cool. All right, fans. I'm going to keep it. Kenzie, look at this. I kept it good and short for you. Typically, this is a 2-hour show. It's only been, no, this is a short show. I'm letting you off the hook. When the boss is away, the mice will play. So I promised you beforehand it would be a short show. This was only an hour 54.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do with those 6 extra free minutes tonight?
Either take a longer shower or get some extra sleep.
But you let me know on Thursday if these 6 extra minutes. By the time I get them talking to you about it, though, they're going to be gone. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of great polls out there. Rockwell, Iowa, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Later on this weekend. Moville, Iowa on Saturday. And then Ukiah, California, wrapping things up. Thank you so much for watching Let's Grow Pulling, the official podcast of the Beer Money Pulling team. Thank you to Jason Schultz for the live look-in from Minden, Illinois. Thank you to Mackenzie Teeting, who does, they're now pointing in the right direction, who does all of our technical production, camera, which she does the real work. Jason, I just talk. Jason promotes, I talk, Kenzie works. Guys, thanks for watching. Have an awesome evening.
Yep. We're going to jump off the live. Jason's going to keep the live going, showing Menden.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So see you next week.
Have an excellent evening, folks. Good night.
Oops. Wrong.
Justice Smith is rule 309.84 here. Interstate Express Transport, 85 limited throws. Steph Kirkland, St. Genevieve, Missouri, with against the green. Continues to lead at 309.84. Showtime 2, 309.42. Pinky Bottom Deer, 308.84. Half Smoke will travel, 307.14. 240 Justice Smith coming up next. All right, 240. Justice Smith and David Doherty, High Price Sugar, Brian Little and Family Tradition, Jeremy Farrell's. Second time around, the Admiral Woman with the Iron Horse for the last 5 quarters of this class. Last 6, excuse me. We have 9 $10,000 pro cars for the Illinois Farm Building Association.